cleared. They cleared up to 28 along that corridor by the administration. We have places like Abaji, we have Kuje Kwali, Zuba, that requires, like what my colleagues have said about connectivity. Yes, that is pivotal to economic growth, social inclusion. So these are the quality of life. These are the benefits of urban regeneration.
I mean, by gathering themselves into groups, trying to bring in some innovative things for the government themselves to come in, like in the aspect of security, because when the city degenerates, you have crime, you have all these things. Now you now have to, they now come together to have vigilantes, come in with different activities at which the government themselves will now be interested, that will bring things that will make the government interested in those areas. Like they coming together, creating like this refuse dump sites. The government can now help them take these dumps from their small areas to the final point where these things will be dumped. And so many of those parts, just to make the place livable for every one of them.
Of course, let me also add there that in the aspect of public participation, for instance, the public investors can come in to help create PUDs, plan unit development, like housing estates. You understand? And they can even come in if they bring a plan that they can sell to the authorities. They can even bring a plan for blighted areas, whereby they can actually, partner with government agencies to actually upgrade those regenerations.
Yes.
So again, the public with the. Let me also remind our listeners that they can start calling in from now. That they can call us through. The first one is 0907 353 0044. I repeat, 0907 353 0044. And the second phone number is 0907 905 4450. And let me also remind everybody that this program is sponsored by the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, FCT chapter, located on Zone 5, Michael Okpara Way, here in Abuja. Hello. It appears there's a phone number coming in. Oh, we've lost it. Please keep trying. Like I was saying, this program is sponsored by the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, FCT chapter, located on Michael Okpara Way, Zone 5, FC in Abuja here. And you can be accessed from Mondays to Fridays from the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. So let's go to the next question, gentlemen. How can regeneration, address issues of social inequality and housing affordability in FCT? Hello? Oh, the line is off. Please keep trying. The lines are open. We just hope and pray that you succeed with the network. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, back to my questions. How can urban Gani, you want to come in from there?
Yes, exactly. So,
social inequality and housing affordability in the FCT.
Housing, the first thing is to profile the area affected. We have to profile the area. So we have to map, because it has to be discrete. The area affected have to be treated, if possible piloted. For instance, the STDA, I'm aware, they are on this taking care of all these blighted areas like the slums in Abuja. So instead of relocation, what they are trying to bring about is to bring about social infrastructure inclusiveness with these people. Even if they want to go further, according to the information I have access to give them the certificate of ownership, restrain the growth of slum, number one, then they give them certificate of ownership. Then they can bring in all this infrastructure, community infrastructure, water. From that survey that I partook in, one of the survey, one of the foremost urgent community needs that we mapped out then was water. The second was road, like T.P. Ahmad mentioned the other time. Then electricity, I think that's a national problem anyway. So these are some of the things to ameliorate the problems of people.
But I'm aware that there is a scheme called mass housing units, whereby FCDA gives out plots to private investors to develop estates. Because if you remind yourself of the definition of urban regeneration, it has to do with any physical development, that takes place within sections of the city. So I'm coming to you, Town Planner Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
So we are talking of housing affordability, housing unit, scheme introduced by the FCT. How can schemes like that help to regenerate the city?
Now, housing affordability, it means the cost of housing in some certain areas become too high, so many people cannot afford. Mass housing schemes are a simple way, or it's a little way of bringing more people into an area who cannot get this access directly from government. They get it from these private individuals who are bringing money to open up areas. Now, if you open up the area councils, you make houses, the houses in the area councils cannot be as expensive as the city. And more people will be able to afford those areas than the city. And you reduce the pressure we're having on the city itself. And you make those places affordable and livable, which is the main essence of urban regeneration. Places, opening up areas for people to be able to live, have their way of life, enjoy security, safety, and everything. And the government itself will be able to provide the security to make those places livable.
Okay, that takes me to the next question.
Yes, sir.
Are you saying that the area councils require schemes like mass housing schemes?
Yes.
Okay. Currently, are they available? Are they coming up? From your knowledge of FCT?
FCT, there are very few in the area councils, which I know of.
Okay.
Very few mass housing schemes in the area councils, except for that of the STDA, which I know in some few areas, like in Kuje, I know of the Abuja 30 city, but that one, there's lack of road. The road to the place is or nothing. There are some areas in Guagualada. There's the one in Zuba. I don't know. I think you handled so many of them, so you can even give us the names of those ones.
Yes, you can come in. So some of those areas, we have Abaji, we have Kuali, we have Zuba, we have this place, Karu. Yes. So there's another one there. I think that was even seriously emphasized. Then to add to build up on what T.P. Ahmad said, you see this mass housing scheme in area councils, some layout because of allottees not developing what was allocated to them. They've been collapsed and given to developers.
Yes.
For the purpose of mass housing. That is why along the airport corridor, you see left and right, you have uncountable estates.
And like they are taking over.
They've taken over. That was why when they went to the FCT minister on assumption of office, they said they are the developers of Abuja. He was annoyed when he heard this. But if you look at the other side, I think is actually true that they've gone a long way in developing that sector.
So the consensus here is that area councils need more mass housing schemes. For one thing, that will remove the population push and pressure on the city center and take them to the area councils. In addition, it will also upgrade the quality of housing that will spring up there. Exactly. It will also improve the aesthetics. They can also bring in infrastructure into those areas, and it will also, create affordability for those who will be able to use those houses. That's the consensus, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that way, we can say that urban regeneration, is a tool or that can help to improve or develop our cities further. Gentlemen, let me take us to another question. What are the strategies of engaging community stakeholders in urban regeneration initiatives in FCT? What strategies do we need to adopt? This is a follow-up to the former question. Dr. Namedo, it's one of the many strategies that can be adopted.
Turning old buildings to new.
Whereby those people in the middle class and above, can come, upgrade their existing old buildings, turn into new. They can even come buy up some existing houses that people want to give out, and bring up new ones that are more modern.
Strategy in turning, and it's mainly for the bourgeois, those who have this money, and they can come in via PPP, and with that they can help the government assist the communities in bringing up those places. Some even going into JV with owners of plots to turn up these areas, turning them around. So I don't know if you have any other idea there.
Yes, the gentrification, a majority of the people that are affected are the people of the low class, the struggling class, moving out of their communities and moving to well-planned layouts. For instance, the issue of Garki village. So the government relocated them. So that is gentrification to Apo resettlement. But there's a problem. Their fathers refused to move down with their children. They said even if they move, how will they relocate their shrines, their ancestral heritage, and the burial grounds of their ancestors? These are issues. That is why in urban regeneration there's this concept of
historical site, preserving
the historical sites
and monuments.
Yes. Then community participation.
Yes.
You have to take administer questionnaire, let them know what you want. Don't think for them. So if you think for them, like the case of resettlement, which failed partially in FCT, the objective, if you go to Wasa, if you go to Shere, their resettlement, you have cows, Fulani elders living in most of those houses. IDPs living in this place. It failed practically. But if the people were carried along, they have a say in the decision they make over them, this would have been avoided.
And let me also add there that what you've just said is part of the challenges of carrying out regeneration program in any city. It can Abuja inclusive, and it also affects other cities. So what are we saying here? In the issue of gentrification, beyond newcomers coming in with their money to buy off old and existing buildings, old buildings to improve, even it can be generated from within the federal through education, through entrepreneurship, have become very big. They can take up their existing ancestral homes, pull it down, and replace it with beautiful buildings. So in a way, from within and from the outside. So that takes us to the next question, gentlemen. What are the challenges of carrying out regeneration program in a city like Abuja? The challenges. You have started by mentioning some. Chaplain Ahmedu, can you?
Because for you to turn a new leaf to something that is already decaying, it needs money, it needs finance. One, before you can change a decayed road, decayed buildings, hospitals, dilapidated areas into that new look which you want them to look, you have to spend money. That is the first and the biggest challenge every government will always have.